All right, guys, so today I'm gonna go over the Turkish getup. A lot of people ask me what my favorite movement is when it comes to exercise, and I always I don't really have one, but I think about it, other than snatches and clean and jerks, it's the Turkish getup. It's one of my favorite movements. It helps with spatial awareness, that's key there, and mobility, trunk stability. It works pretty much every major muscle group in your body. And I just love that you have to really focus on the movement the entire time. There's no room to just kind of wander off and go to la la land. You have to focus in order to do the movement properly, and that is what I love the most about it. So I'm gonna go over it. I'm gonna start first with the 30-pound, and then I'm gonna go to the 40-pound dumbbell. I'm only using a dumbbell because I do not have kettlebells in my gym right now, but ideally you wanna use a kettlebell. It just sits better on your wrist. Dumbbell, there's nothing wrong with using a dumbbell, just use what you have. When I was in college, my strength and conditioning coach had me do it with a shoe on my hand. And if we could do the Turkish getup with the shoe on our hand, balancing on top of our foot, then we could do it with a dumbbell or a kettlebell or whatever. So if you don't have a dumbbell or a kettlebell, you could use your shoe. So there's that as well. Let's go. All right, guys. I don't know if this is stupid or not, but I'm going to start with the 30. And I'm going to try to coach you guys through it with a 30-pound dumbbell. I haven't done these in a while, but I mean, it's been like 2 weeks. So we'll see how it goes, okay? First things first, you never want to start with it here. You want to start with it on the floor, okay? Once you have it on the floor, you're going to go ahead and lay down right next to it. Once you're on the floor, again, this is my right leg, right arm. The dumbbell will be in my right arm. So once I'm here, all right, dumbbells in the right arm. Key, number one thing, wrists and shoulders are stacked on top of one another. Your eyes never leave the kettlebell or the dumbbell or your shoe. All right, once you have this positioning here, you're gonna go ahead and roll up onto your left shoulder. So right shoulder off the ground, up to your elbow, up to your wrist. Once you are here, shoot your hips up as high as you can. Once you do that, bring your left knee to your left palm. So once you're here, sweep that left foot back, bring this right foot in, and you're gonna go ahead and stand all the way up. All right, so once you're here, you can do whatever you want, get comfortable. All right, now I'm gonna take a big step back with my left leg, and my left arm touches the ground. I don't know if you guys saw it, I just sweeped my foot to the back here. That allows me to bring my hips all the way through to the way I brought them back up. Once I am here, I come down ass first. Sorry guys, downtown LA is pretty noisy. So ass first comes down, elbow, shoulder, other shoulder. That is one complete rep with the 30-pound dumbbell. While I'm talking and explaining, I don't mean to toot my horn, but toot. I'm totally kidding. All right guys, now let's do the left side because I want to keep everything even, okay? So left side, okay, so now the right leg comes down. So left arm, left leg are planted. Again, I'm gonna go over it again just because repetition is key here. All right, again, wrists and shoulders are stacked. I'm in a nice strong position. Notice how my leg isn't right here. My leg is kind of open. My arm isn't straight here or right here. It's at an angle here, okay? So again, left shoulder off the ground, up to my elbow, up to my wrist. Once I'm here, my hips come up. This right knee comes all the way down to my wrist. Notice how I sweep my foot back here. Once I do that, this left foot comes up. I'm in a perfect lunge. Go ahead and stand up. All right, once I'm here, right leg goes back. All right, I'm back in this little lunge position. Sweep my foot through, arm comes down, hips come through, ass comes down to the floor, elbow, shoulder, other shoulder, completed rep. Bada beam, bada boom. That was a 30-pound dumbbell. I'm gonna do it one more time with the 40-pound dumbbell. I haven't done that in a while, so if I do it, I'll be pretty proud of myself. My goal, by the way, is to get to a 100-pound dumbbell Turkish getup. It's gonna take some time. I'm not too worried about it. It's gonna happen. All right, party people. So I just explained everything with the 30-pound dumbbell. Now I'm just gonna do one-and-one with the 40-pound dumbbell on each side. No pausing, no explaining, but you will see that I hit every point, no matter what weight I have in my arm, no matter if it's a 10-pound dumbbell or a 40-pound dumbbell, everything I said still applies, and you have to perform every single little movement that I said. Just because the dumbbell gets heavier doesn't mean your form gets shitty and sloppy. You're gonna have to push that little boop there so I don't get dinged for saying the word shit, okay? All right. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna start with my right side first, dumbbell on the floor. So right side, right leg is up, and right arm will be up. So that's how I get the dumbbell up. If I get this, I'd be really happy. I'm gonna shut up for a second. So just go ahead and watch because it helps to see and visualize this. Okay. Oh, scheiße. Oh, scheiße. Oh, scheiße. That's right. You know, it really helps if you say scheiße, because holy scheiße, that was rough. All right, guys, just because I did the right side doesn't mean I'm done. I have to do the other side. So I'm gonna do 1 rep with the left side. The left side is my weaker side. You're gonna have some imbalances, so one side will feel a little better than the other. That's normal. Just do your best and maintain that trunk stability. That is key. All right, as soon as you lose that, you kind of lose the form everywhere else. All right, let's get started. Left side. All right, so left arm, left foot. I'm gonna shut up for a second. All right, I said the left side was my weaker side, but holy cow, that was a lot better than the right side. But here's what I learned. So the right side, I didn't brace my belly as intense as I did the left side because I thought, oh, my left side's weaker, I should brace more. And I thought my right side is weaker, so I got a little lazy there. And the right side ended up feeling harder. So the key is bracing your trunk and really just creating that Valsalva maneuver. If you don't know what that is, it's where you're breathing while maintaining tension in your abdomen. So you're without letting your belly get soft, you're able to breathe and continue the movement. So that is key there. And that is what I just learned myself. I mean, that's the thing I love about fitness is that you're always just learning something. And yeah, that's it. Stay strong. All right, guys, if you've never done this movement before, do not start with something heavy. Start with 0 weight, record yourself, look at it, and see, just watch it first. Don't try to just, never done it before, grab a heavy dumbbell, and then try to perform the movement. You're setting yourself up for failure. So start with 0 weight and just focus on the movement step by step. Everything works in a kinetic pattern. So in a, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess what I'm gonna try and figure out what's the word I'm looking for. Everything works step by step. Like it goes from shoulder, other shoulder, elbow, wrist, hips. There's a kinetic chain involved, and it goes step by step, and you build up, and you build back down the way you came right back up. So you have to be really aware, and again, the key thing you want to look for here is that you're not looking at your wrist, you're not looking at your foot, you're not looking at your hips, you're looking at your wrist or the dumbbell or the kettlebell or the shoe that you have in your hand the entire time. Focus. You don't need to be looking at somewhere else to figure out how to do a movement if you have that spatial awareness. And that's what I love with this movement, is because you can build that spatial awareness, kinetic awareness, where your body is in space, and that is this is why it's actually my favorite movement. All right, guys, I'm gonna go over some common mistakes. The number 1 mistake I see while people do Turkish get-ups is when they shoot their hips back. So I'm gonna go over what I mean by sweeping your foot and by shooting your hips back, and I'm gonna show you guys what I commonly see. Let's just get right into it so I can show you guys, okay? All right, so say I'm here, right foot up, right arm up, okay? So I come here, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Once my shoulder, elbow, and wrist are up, hips come up, right? Now, when you drive your hips back, this is where I see common mistakes, where people just kind of keep their hips here. You got to pull your hips back. Now, if you go to this side over here, you can see that my hips are back. So notice how my hips are back and away from my body. So they went from here to here. Instead of what I commonly see is this, right? It's like you got to move your hips out of the way so your body can move comfortably. And when I say sweep the foot, so once I'm here, I sweep the foot back, bring this in slightly, and now I can stand up, okay? So again, I lunge back with my left, bring my wrist down by my knee. I move this foot out of the way so I could bring this up. But your hips have to go back. If your hips do not go back, it is going to be a really uncomfortable movement, and it's going to feel really off, and you're going to be very limited with the weight you can do overhead with the dumbbell or the kettlebell because the form is off. So it's just driving your hips back and really shooting your hips back to open up that space for you to continue the movement. Otherwise, you're going to be crunched for space, and it's going to feel really uncomfortable. The dumbbell's going to be all waving around, and it just makes the movement more difficult. So if you can focus on that, you'll have a successful Turkish get up.